Welcome back to the Overheard Podcast, recorded live in Banff. My name is Daniel Ruedl. With me always is my co-host,
Matty Rage. Let's go.
Let's go. We are back, first episode of the year with a very special guest, Shawayne Dunstan. Thank you so much for joining us. If it is your first time joining us, please don't be shy to smash the like and subscribe. We got plenty of new stuff coming to you this year. We got a new segment coming later in the episode.
Heck yeah.
Lots of partnerships, lots of awesome stuff as we move forward. We're just kind of trying to grow, always bring you more fun conversations. Yeah. Last time Shawayne was with us, it was the 26th episode.
That was a while ago.
It was July 30th, actually, 2024.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
That was that was a while ago.
I went back and checked out the episode. It was on our first original kind of setup. We were on the couch at Cougar Street.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You still had the long hair, actually, back
Did
then.
I?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
shit.
that was pretty crazy to look back on that episode and be like,
Had the hockey flow going.
yeah, man, how far we've come. If you've never heard of Shawayne, you must be living under a rock, or maybe you just moved to Banff. Shawayne is an author, artist, and entrepreneur living in Banff, Alberta. He's written 13 poetry books since 2016, including Tumblebug, Wallflower, The Rise of Shaweezy, Let This Hold You Over is Shawayne's latest Shawayne's latest collection, and it expands on dedication, love, and maturity. He published 3 books in 2025 alone: Nova, The Rise of Shaweezy, and Let This Hold You Over. His 14th book will be shifting gears a little bit into an autobiography titled Epiphany of a Stargazer. You can find Shawayne's books in your local bookstore or right on your doorstep on Amazon. That's how I get mine, unless I go to a mom and pop bookstore, which we do have one in the Valley. I noticed one. I found a new one the other day.
Do we? Where's that?
Yeah, in Canmore. There's like a cool used and new bookstore.
That's sick.
Did you know about that?
I knew about Cafe Books necessarily.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, there we go.
Big shout out.
Yeah, so for myself, I've been doing good. I'm thankful to just be amongst it all in a new year, brand new start. You know, new year, excellent me, just stepping into excellence. The books are also available at the library, and I'm just thankful to be able to share my ideas and my dreams.
Man, hasn't stopped. It's been crazy. It's been great to watch you go since I kind of first caught wind of you before we even started the podcast, kind of over social media. Your artistic output is insane. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Before we get too far into things, let's go check in with our sponsor. We'll be back with you in just a few seconds.
Come on!
Questions? Welcome back, everyone. This episode is brought to you by Drink Shaft. Winter in Banff hits different. The cold air, the frozen mornings, and the brief stillness before the day kicks off. Fuel your early starts with Drink Shaft, the non-alcoholic, all-natural espresso energy drink made for the mountain days and the longer ones, maybe around your home or the office. You can find Drink Shaft in over 800 stores across Western Canada. Go and grab one before you head out on your next adventure or before the next long weekend hits Banff. So yeah, ready to go.
They're coming quick.
Seasons change. Drink Shaft always stays the same. So welcome back to the show. How were the holidays for you guys? I kind of want to kick this off with what's been going on over the past few weeks. I think this is the longest break we've had from podcasting since we started.
Yes. Yeah, I think we only ever missed 1 week here and there,
Yeah.
I think, just with vacations and stuff like that. But yeah, it's been a long break. When was our last episode? That was
The second week of December, I think.
second week. So we
Yeah.
had like 3 weeks off.
Episode 101 with the Alberta Coast Guard. Big shout out. We got to give big thanks to the Brew Pub for having us as well. We're down in the tap room. They opened today at 4
p.m.
4 p.m.
Yeah.
So come and get your tasty brews here at the tap room.
Good stuff.
How was your holiday, Shawayne? What did you get up to?
I worked a lot, as many folks in the Bow Valley, just grinding away. Celebrated the release of Let This Hold You Over, number 13, and just really tried to stay in communication with my family, even though they're apart they're like all the way in Ontario and Jamaica, and making sure my partner is okay, and just like trying to take care of the mind and body. You know, it's a very hard time of year. Life is hard, but we work harder, and we put in that excellence of work to just get it done. You know,
it's a very good point. I think Banff, the holidays hit you a little bit different, especially because, again, like you mentioned, a lot of people away from their families.
Yep.
It is one of the busiest times to work as well. Like, I remember years past when it was kind of new for me, being pretty disgruntled about that fact that, like, you're here working while other people maybe have more means than you or get to come and enjoy it, right? Or like maybe if you're living back home in a more 9-to-5 type realm, the holidays are more of a time to relax and recoup and really connect with family. Whereas here in Banff, it's really time to grind. You know, you can't be.
It was a busy one. I had some time off, so I did a whole bunch of shifts in a row, and then had the girlfriend down for a few days and DJ'd New Year's Eve. That was fun, and DJ'd Saturday as well at the Pump Tap.
Nice.
Every 2 weeks down there. So if you listen and you like EDM. every other week, every other Saturday at Pomatat.
Let's go
and check them out. Yeah, I don't know. I got pretty lucky with my schedule. I think it was paced out pretty cool for me. I still had like close on Christmas Day.
I don't think we worked a shift together for like a week and a half. I was on my way out and you're on your way in. I'm like, man, I haven't seen Dan in like a while.
Yeah,
we had a couple weeks off, so
it was pretty good. Like, I can't complain at all. But, you know, tough time for a lot of people, you know, especially being away from family, partaking in maybe alcohol or maybe partying a little bit more. How do you guys keep this Sunday scaries away during the holidays?
Breakfast, man. Just go, like, if you're hungover, just go get a good breakfast, like sort yourself out. Go down to Mel's for some Eggs Benny or something. That's what I do.
Rest, rejuvenation, and a conversation.
There you go.
Sure.
I think that's like the top trio. Rest, because you can't pour from an empty bucket. Rejuvenation, whether that's through like going to get a massage or going for a walk. Look at this beautiful town that we're in.
Yeah, no doubt.
And communication, just like having a conversation with folks that generally care about you, or just folks in general, you know, just like we're amongst it. And it's a process along this journey. And I think it takes a lot of skill, faith, and resilience, but we have to make it happen.
For sure. I think that's a very good point. No one's going to make those connections for you, right? It's important to have, especially during the holidays. It's easy to isolate yourself. It's easier to isolate yourself, kind of retreat into your work or, you know, your phone. But yeah, connection is kind of the way. Call your friends, you know, call your family.
Heck yeah, dude.
That's the way to do it. Good point, Shawayne. Let's get on to the books, all right? You published 3 books in 2025. Can you take us through what they're all about and how they fit together in your larger body of work?
When it comes to the 3 books that I published in 2025, the first one would be my 11th book, Nova. Nova was my my first watercolor book. I'm like messing up my words. Oh my goodness!
I butchered that intro pretty good. So yeah.
My first watercolor book, and it really just dives into just subtle thoughts and just like thoughts that I've shared over Instagram and like just like in the moment resiliency and just like day to day things. And then I had Rise of Shaweezy. Shaweezy is my brand. It means light in the darkness. It's a name that I got, a nickname that I got in high school in my time back in Malton, which is Mississauga, Ontario. And this is really a pinnacle in my body of work because all these 3 books that I'm about to describe, they relate back to Tumblebug. You can see with the artistry in the abstract artwork and myself being included in that picture. So everything's stemming after, except for my 10th book, which was more creative flow when it comes to the cover. Rise of Shaweezy was really the embodiment of greatness. Mm-hmm. So I knew I had to go deeper and deeper dive into my my upcoming books. Next up, we have Let This Hold You Over. This one I wrote for a few reasons. One, I wrote for the absence, discipline, and progression absent discipline and progression, absence of the things that we are fondly remembering, people that are no longer here, people that we want to associate with, things and just places, things and places. And also just the journey of going through emotions, not having it all, but wanting to have the world accept you. This also has the creative flow because although it's in black and white, it has images, it has sketchings, places around Banff, Lake Louise, plans for my next book and everything. So I'm really thankful to bring it to fruition. It wasn't easy, I won't lie to you. 3 books in a year, I haven't done that since 2018. But the fact that I'm able to say that is, it's a lot of discipline. And you have people around you that will uplift you. You have people around you that will tell you all sort of things, but you wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to take a step outside. You got to be proud of yourself.
100%. 3 books in 1 year is a huge accomplishment. Again, like you said, nothing you're no stranger to. What really attracted me to your work, Shawayne, is part of what I like about your style of poetry specifically is that you involve yourself heavily in the art, right? It's not like some of it is abstract, but a lot of it you can really tell that there's a person behind there that's kind of orchestrating and putting this all together. Kind of reminds me of some of my favorite journalists that I like that include themselves in the story that they're telling.
Fair.
Very unique, honestly, in style choice, and one that I am a big fan of. So I just kind of wanted to mention that as we're chatting about it. When you're sitting down to write, what usually comes first to you? Is it kind of a feeling that you get, or like how do you find that inspiration? Is it a question that you're trying to answer? What drives you?
Emotion, the capacity to do more, and the audience. Emotion, because that has to stem from myself. These are a majority of my experiences. It's my perspective, and perspective in this world that's priceless. My capacity to convey all these life experiences and everything. That's a beautiful thing. And not everyone can formulate the words. Like, people take classes to do this. People go across the world to get this inspiration. And for myself, I've been blessed through just timings in my life. My competition right now, how I look at it, is AI. In the sense of like that this can take over people's perspective on poetry. So if I stand in my power, if I think about the resiliency, if I think about how I can make this showcase that I'm human, that I was here.
Yeah.
That's legacy.
But honestly, if I think of AI, like, I don't think AI could convey that same sense of feeling that a human could, especially in writing.
Yeah.
What we have as AI does not come up with anything new. It just repeats what's on the internet, right? It's not developing new models. It's not curing diseases. It's just regurgitating art that already exists. So it's not going to convey that human emotion. I've mentioned this on the pod before, where they gave like a script premise to all the different language models, and the script that it came up with were all pretty similar. Whereas if you gave the same premise to 10 different directors of film, you would get 10 vastly different projects from the same premise, right? Visually, storyline-wise, emotional conveyance, they would all be different. So that's where I think, AI, I think, is a bit of a scare as far as how much people devote their own creativity to it. Like you see posts, say, like on Marketplace, where people have forgotten to take out the prompts of like where you're supposed to put in the information. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're taking it, like, you see that all the time.
I think it's about being a master of the craft and knowing and that you hold the potential and the duty, the last, to stand in that power once again. I've learned from Basquiat, I've learned from Leonard Cohen, Rupi Kaur, Maya Angelou, even local poets in the Bow Valley, Like, I really appreciate what Hazard Jean Jordan is doing as the poet laureate, and people that you look up to and be like, I want to be like that. I'm doing something that is so true to self. That I've been led here, like like
no doubt.
like this is a wonderful time. It's a wonderful time. It's not easy, but it's a wonderful time.
I think a philosophy that, I've kind of adopted with the podcast is just do enough reps until you are kind of the master of your craft. You know what I mean? Like, we're at 102 episodes. I'm thinking of the 1,000th episode now, like,
Yeah, no doubt.
It's not a like, we're going to do this project and if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, we won't do it. It's like, we're doing this and there's no stopping it, right? Like, that's kind of the mentality that you have to have. How do you master your craft? Is it by repetition or is it just by,
Transformation.
Yeah.
Transformation. I'm not the same type of writer that I was when I was back in 2012 when I was in grade 6 or 7. That's when I first discovered poetry through a faculty member that was like, hey, today we're going to learn about Banksy and then poetry and art forms and just like expressing yourself. And that person telling me to use this as an outlet, which resonated with me. I'm telling you, it resonates with you as a kid. And for the children, the next generation, it really resonates if you strike a chord. And publishing my first book, I seemed a little bit more nimble and a little bit more humble. And then I just really got into the groove of it. Not being disrespectful, but knowing that, hey, I have the chance to write this, and I don't have to be I can be prolific but real. I don't have to fake it. You know?
Right.
Like, yeah.
There's just an interesting part of telling a story. I think people underestimate, and I've like encountered this a lot when I'm asking people to come on the show that maybe aren't used to doing public speaking or that are maybe a little bit more guarded about their personal lives, and people don't think that their story is interesting enough to be told, which I think is crazy. Like,
Yeah, but I mean, we've had enough guests on now. I think we've seen like quite a gamut of like, some people are just like, I don't know, I'm not really. Like, we've straight up asked people and they're just like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Like,
yeah, but I think everyone still has an interesting story in how you got here in the first place, right? Like,
oh yeah. It's different for everybody. Like, yeah, there's some similarities across the board, but like, your story is totally different than my story on the way out here. You know
True.
what I mean? Or like how you ended up here, why you chose here in the first place. Just, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, even the story of how, say, like, some of our coworkers got here from, I was talking to one of our coworkers. He's a Kurdish man, right? And the Kurds had their state broken up by like Turkey, Syria. Like, their state is abrupt. It's very similar. I don't want to compare it to anything, but I don't know. Like, that is a crazy story, and we work at the same place in Banff somehow. You know what I'm?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
So
Yeah.
people underestimate, I feel, the interestingness or the importance of their story, because I think they're all important.
Yeah, like
I think all it takes is an idea to be that spark.
Yeah.
And that's why I always say, be the spark, listen to your heart. Just like that little nuance, that little thing that defines us special, that makes you special, which we all hold deep within. The world deserves to see your art. You deserve to see your art and creation. So just bring it into fruition as best as possible.
Just do it. Like, if you want to, or you have an idea that you think is cool, I think people get stopped a lot by judgment or fear of what others will think. Like, I had someone tell me when we started this project that I must have a lot of time on my hands because I wanted to start this. And I thought that was like, looking back on it, I think it's kind of nuts. It's just funny to look back on,
While we're on that topic, do you ever yourself struggle with like self-doubt when you're, in your writing process or sending something off to be published, and how do you kind of deal with that when it comes out?
I do. I think a good portion of my writing stems from self-doubt. I'm confident enough to say that because it can come from how I'm feeling the day,
Right.
And if I don't feel like, oh, today was 100%, like let me write about that difference.
I was just gonna ask that question. Would you do you have to feel in a headspace where you're 100% when you're writing, or is it like, do you find better writing on the days where maybe you're not 100%, where it takes you that extra bit of effort to maybe put the pen to the page?
I think it's a combination of both of them. For example, in Let This Hold You Over, I wrote a poem called that was describing my birthplace of Jamaica and the hurricanes and everything that was going on down there.
Yeah.
And that came from me seeing the advertisement of, hey, this is what's going on in Jamaica right now, and feeling that resonated with me, and then writing right away. I'm like, I might not have the monetary to be like, I'm going to do all these other sort of type of things to help out, but I have words, I have my craft.
Right.
And I've been down on my dollar and just been like, I'm going to play a song, and somebody's like, oh my God, I'm going to invest in you. Or like, I'm going to make a sketch, and somebody's going to be like, oh, let me just sit with you, you know? So like, I think it can empower you. The uncomfortableness can empower you tenfold, because success is uncomfortable. There's a quote by J. Cole where it's like, if everyone realizes that just the amount of love that they have in their life is enough, then they won't go after things that make them feel not enough. Like if you're chasing after money, the money never ends. If you're chasing after the monetary, that might never end. If you're chasing after people and partners, that might never end. But if you realize that there's just not enough love in your life, enough wholesomeness, enough wonder, enough curiosity, maybe that'll make you feel fulfilled. And if not, then you can lean back on some of the most beautiful things in life, like sights and like waves and tides, and just you watching this. We're sharing a moment.
That was very well said.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Man. So self-doubt almost being a motivator in that sense, right? Like having the confidence to lean into your self-doubt and expose it and kind of be as open as you are with it, I think is a big reason why I like chatting with you, man. It's
Thank you.
honestly. Yeah. Have you ever had anyone tell you that what you're doing is a waste of time? Or like, have you ever encountered, say, I don't know, you'd call it a hater, but like someone who maybe downplayed your art, and how, like, what advice would you give to someone that encounters that in their own, like if they're starting out?
I remember, it's funny how I'm smiling about this, but I remember like going to Square One in Mississauga, and like this is after my first couple of books, and I was talking to a representative, and I was like, hey, I want to get my book into like an Indigo there. And she's like, I don't know if like you can do that and this and that and stuff and go around the corner, but like I got the information that I needed, because she's like, oh, you just have to call head office. But she's like, yeah, that's if it works out. So I called head office, and I'm like, hey, I'm just like a random 18-year-old from Mississauga, and I'm at book 4 now and everything, and it's just like going that extra mile, like. And they were willing to put the books in the store, and then I came back to the store, and she was working. Nice. I'm not petty, but I am petty. And I was like, hey, I'm looking for this book by this author, And yeah, so I shared the name and everything, and I'm like, yeah, that's me. That's me. I made it happen. It's not every single time that you can prove somebody wrong about your doubt, but you making it out is what it's about. Make it out of that struggle as best as possible. Have some self-belief, have some discipline, and just like don't allow these people to tear you down before you get the crown. Like
yeah, fair.
poetry knows it.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm looking for this book. I don't
Yeah,
think that's petty. I think that's freaking awesome, man. That's so dope.
That's good stuff.
When we first sat down to talk, we talked a little bit about your writing process as we have today. I'm wondering kind of what your editing process looks like. Like when you sit down to write something like, say, Let This Hold You Over, are you pulling from a huge bank of poetry that you've previously written and organizing it or curating it in a way? Or are you like, I'm going to write this book, I'm starting it, and I'm writing it in order? Like, how do you do it?
I think you hit that on the buzzer. Like I write it in order.
Yeah.
I've been doing that since about my 8th book, This Shared Moment. But I leaned into that for Tumblebug, and I think that's what led me to number 1. Even Let This Hold You Over was trending at number 2 in new releases. That was really cool.
Nice.
But if you follow me on social media, you'll see that I publish like new bodies of work.
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Like poetry all the time. And if you compare that, if you look at for that poem in like the newest books, like a poem that I'll write in like my feed or something, like it usually ends up in the book.
Yeah.
It's really funny. It's like months later. Like it's very rarely that I draw from like older things.
Yeah.
Unless it like specifically says like this is like from like October 26th, 2016.
Yeah.
You know? 2016 was a weird year, but it was all right. It was all right.
Wild. So you're working on your autobiography right now.
Have you started it yet?
Yeah, it's going along. I have the sections ready. I have the book covers coming along as well. It's just really hard for me to lean out of poetry. So I started to whip poetry with it. But, like, you can't do that with an autobiography. We were like, hey, we're looking for the words and the essays, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm going to make it happen.
Because, sorry to cut you off there, Matt, but when I wrote this question, it just kind of occurred to me as we were speaking that he maybe didn't actually start writing the actual autobiography yet. And the question was, how do you go about writing about yourself?
Yeah, no doubt.
I think the same mentality that I have that, like, I'll write in the moment for a poem, I think it's breaking it down into subject matter. Like, so, like, from, like, my birth year, 1999, till, like, 2004, and then 2005 till, like, just writing about different big parts and segments that's happened in each of those parts, necessarily. I was really inspired to bring it to creation because I said, there's a quote by George Mallory that says, because it is there. And I'm here right now. And it was really hard to get to 2026. I don't know about a lot of people, but it was very hard to get to 2026. A lot of hard moments, but if not now, then when? If not me, then who? And I think this is the right thing to do. And I know, like, on episode 26, I was just on a few earlier books and all, but, like, this is planned out to 2035, and I'm going to get it done further. Because I want to show the youth, I want to show whoever is taking the time to listen to this that you can believe in those dreams. I've come up with some very, like, profound ideas. And I think you have very profound ideas, too. You don't need all the money in the world. You don't need every single thing at the same moment. But if you keep your heart steady and just make sure that, like, you really believe, eat, sleep, and believe in the dream, you can pull it off. No doubt, you know?
Where do you come up with these profound ideas? Do you have, like, a space or a time specifically that kind of generates it? Because for me, like, I'm not gonna lie, when I'm in the shower, I think, and I heard this weird theory that it's because you're kind of away from your phone, being connected to water has a big part of it, and creativity, I think. So yeah, for me, it's in the shower. I come up with these crazy, like, I'm thinking about the pod, I come up with these crazy ideas, and, like, the new segment today, I thought about it in the shower.
It's your think tank, no pun intended. Eh?
What is it for you?
For myself, I really look back at my my inner child.
Okay.
Like, what would they...
Like through meditation?
Yeah, through like meditation, through like my past writings and everything.
So you might read some of your old past writings to kind of get you back into the creative zone.
Back into the creative zone. I also look at old photographs. I also just take myself to a cafe and just like, it sounds weird, but I people watch in the sense of like, how do people communicate with each other?
So
How do I communicate with myself, and how does that go into a full circle, a cycle?
almost like putting yourself in other people's shoes for a minute by watching them.
Yeah, like in that type of sense. I think it's also like I'm really altruistic.
Yeah.
And optimistic and enthusiastic as well. So if I see that, hey, people are laughing and people are just having a general conversation, and I'm having a bad day, how do I take myself out of my shoes and put myself in other people's shoes? So when somebody gives me a compliment, it's like, where's that stemming from?
Yeah.
That's stemming from they see the light in me. So.
Well, I feel like that's a common trait in a lot of artists, is being able to kind of flip their perception and see their art or their performance through the eyes of the audience.
Right.
Right? So it's almost, like you said, an altruistic thing, almost like an empathic thing.
Yeah.
You know what
a
I
lot
mean?
of empathy.
Yeah. That's very interesting. I saw on social media that you've developed quite the affinity for painting since we last spoke. Where did this spark? You've even had a showcase, or not a showcase. What would you call it? An exhibition.
Yeah.
At the Banff Public Library. How did all this come to be on top of your prolific writing?
So in about September of 2024, 2025, I got some canvases because a friend called me from Ontario, and she was like, hey, I had a dream that you made me a painting. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. That's weird, but that's so cool. And she's like, I want you to recreate it. So I'm going off a dream of a description of a painting. And I'm like, yeah, I put my heart into it. And then she's like, no, this is not how I saw it, but it's okay. This is a cool painting. And I'm like, okay. So I just kept going after it. I kept trying after that. And then my girlfriend bought me a paint set, like a bunch more paintings, acrylic paint. And I started making some really prolific and just stunning ones that like I wanted to keep too, but I just kept on like they kept on finding new homes. It's an extension of myself.
Yeah.
And it's a visual extension of myself.
Nice.
Because you've always had art. Like last time after our episode, you even made us eat. Did you make us eat? I think you made us each a piece of art last time before you left.
Yeah, like a sketch.
Yeah, sketch. So the art has always kind of been there, but from sketching to now like full on canvases and paints.
Oh man.
How did you make that jump? Just naturally? Like, is it your friend had a dream and you're like, I should do this?
My friend Nadira, she
Do you think like the world sends you messages in that way sometimes?
I think the world steers you in the way away from potholes and like away from, it's like intuition and just guidance. A lot of guidance. I'm like, to make it through the hard days, it takes a lot of guidance. To appreciate yourself takes a lot of guidance. But one word I like to say that really encapsulates my paintings is I transmute the world in my paintings. Nature, wealth, beauty, love, fear. Like the painting that I did for the homegrown art show, what a lot of that seemed like darkness because that was like so like it was like a good sized canvas, and somebody saw that pain in it, and I live for that analyzation. I live for that analyzation, even though there can be light as well, but the whole motion of it.
We can't have one without the other, right? It's one of those things. I feel like, especially in the artist struggle or whatever you want to call it, right? Like the purpose is kind of to portray life, and it's not always light and it's not always dark. It's kind of sometimes a blend of both, sometimes both at the same time.
Balance.
Based on the situation, you know?
Do you approach a blank canvas any differently than you approach a blank page, like say for poetry? Like, is your approach different when it comes to painting? Or are you kind of painting in the moment? Whenever it strikes you.
I think I'm more disciplined and more hard on myself when it comes to the writing, because it's brought me so much opportunities. It's brought me so much. I'm more established in that.
Right.
But with the acrylic painting, I'm more free flow and more experimental and more. I want to say it's fun. It's more fun, kind of.
Okay.
Or just like a fun hobby instead of like taking it so serious.
Yeah, less professional. Like,
less pressure, maybe?
Less pressure.
There you go.
But like some people, that is their craft. So like, I go to like the White Museum, or like I go and like I went to a Banksy exhibition too, and I was like, in Vancouver, that was so cool.
Wow.
No doubt.
Oh my gosh, that's one thing I've been up to, and like people take this serious, but like I'm able to do it and still have peace of mind, and like is just, it blows my mind. It's so cool. But I think the writing and the visual component of transmutation through the artwork, it's only going to get bigger.
Well, I think as well, like you said, like you're more of an established writer, so maybe your expectations of your own performance is higher than when you're hitting the canvas. Maybe you're just like really letting it fly, whereas you might have a bit more censorship when it comes to your writing, because you kind of.
I think the audience, as you said, the audience has been there already. But with the free flow, I think you can maybe strike a larger audience, because it's not like art can be perceived and translated to so much different languages.
It can be consumed a little bit quicker too, right? Like seeing a painting, like seeing something versus reading a whole iteration of a book.
Yeah, body of
work. It
work.
takes more commitment. It takes more time, right? So having that expression being in like a quicker format. I mean, you do have a lot of art in your book anyway, so it's not something that's like a huge jump. It's not like, you started fencing or something like that. Which wouldn't be a huge jump.
I was thinking about pottery at one point. I was like, I should be what do you say, a potter?
A potter?
I don't know. I consider myself a bit of a potter already.
Oh,
How does living in Banff and kind of being surrounded by constant beauty, but also constant movement, right? Like we just saw over the holidays, it was pretty crazy here.
It was wild.
Like even though it is a beautiful place, life can get hectic here as well. Where do you go to like recharge and kind of refine your center when maybe things are getting a little crazy in your life?
I believe that if I have time to reset my home life and like just take time to just wake up without an alarm, or go downtown and get a coffee at Downtown Sally or like Per Cafe, or just see the locals like Tommy and like Hoops from Sizzlers and everybody, and just being in the moment. I think that helps me recharge. Like I feel, as we were discussing earlier, I'm an empath, so I really draw from energies and everything, and that recharge is so important. It's so important. You can't pour from an empty bucket. And I also listen to a lot of music. I have to make sure I eat. I have to prioritize my mental health as best as possible without jeopardizing my lifestyle.
If I could just interrupt here, eating good food is a huge part of mental health, everyone. That's like probably the base. Your gut microbiome affects a lot what's going on upstairs. So
I like to eat fries supreme. Makes me happy. I'll tell you what. Had one last night.
I know it makes you happy, but man, it might not make your guts so happy. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's all good.
I just want to tell everyone out there, it's like probably the most overlooked thing in mental health is putting good fuel in your body.
And also giving yourself a pat on the back sometimes. The world, as we were discussing earlier, the world might already be judging you or criticizing you. But if you aren't in favor of yourself, then how can anybody else wholeheartedly?
How can you have fans if you're not your number one fan?
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
Like,
That
it's the same thing,
story
right?
checks out.
Like, if you're your own number one fan, you'll exude this confidence that, like, you know what you're doing is right and you're on the right path. That's infectious, you know?
Oh, yeah. I love this question. Do you think art is something you do or something that you are?
I think it's something I am. To be first to, like, I am a body of conscience. I am the conscience of a body. I am the feeling of the earth, the feeling of past generations, the feeling of my peers and counterparts. To be able to perceive them and have that perspective, that is art. Scientific art, intuitive art, you know? Being able to smile and give somebody a handshake and change their day, that is art in motion. Being able to just love, that is art and poetry. And I think the world is full of art, but just not having on the blinders as much and just taking the time to look for it and see it. Because it can get a little bit like crummy sometimes. And who am I to tell you not to be sad, not to feel those emotions? But on the side verge of that, you deserve to be happy. You deserve to know that you're appreciated, even if you're having a really bad day. And living in Banff, I think although we've come from afar, we're here now together, and that's art in some type of way. Like, it's like some type of, like, I don't know, like something that holds us together. You know, when the town breathes and feels and like exhales and inhales, like we feel losses, we feel triumphs, we feel windfalls.
Well,
and
you know the spiritual like history of Banff, right? Like with, you know, Native communities, like they think this place is quite spiritual as far as like an energy vortex, the hot springs.
Yeah.
There's, you know, theories as to maybe that's why people party so much here, because the energies are so strong that some people have to drown it out. Banff can be an incredibly creative place for those that have their mind in a good place, and it can be an incredibly destructive place for those that have their mind in a bad place, I think.
that's good stuff.
I had this next question set up of your advice to someone who's new to town that wants to get into the arts, but I think I kind of want to switch it up based on your reply to the last question, which is like, what advice would you give to someone that doesn't see themselves as an artist but wants to? Let's say they want to make art, but they're like, I'm no artist. What would you say to that person?
Don't be afraid to be a multidisciplinary.
Oh, yeah. Sick.
You know, I'm a hospitality professional. I'm a painter. I'm an author. I'm like public speaker and everything. But it wouldn't be wise to put all your hats in one bucket. But try everything out. That is going to showcase your creativity. Give it a try. Give the day a try. Give that conversation a try. Give that art form a try. Research some art forms that you've never done before. Like we were talking about the pottery and all, and just going to those public events and learning those networking events and learning about like the history and just what folks are doing. Like I know I've done performances last year for the Bow Valley Chambers and like at the Fairmont Banff Springs, and I'm so thankful. But that's coming from learning to play guitar, which is, I don't know how to play guitar, but like apparently other people think I know how to play guitar, you know. That's just from giving it a try, you know. Shout out to my girlfriend for like lending me her guitar, but that's brought me so far. It's brought me so far. Who am I to say I'm a painter, you know? Who am I to say I'm an author, even though I have the books? It's like, if you think that other people are better than you and you're not being your advocate, you're not advocating for yourself, then you're already down and out. Just like you asking that question of like, what does it take to be an artist and everything? That shows curiosity. You have to dive into that feeling. You gotta make art, not content. Like that's also a podcast as well. But like,
man.
you know, just have love for your art. Have love for the world, and have love for yourself.
Big time. Very, very well said. One question I was dying to ask you, because I feel like this could be kind of a pretty big, I don't know, teaching moment for our audience, is what habits or routines have made the biggest difference for you personally when it comes to your output in art? So like, what's something that you do in your daily practice that keeps you so consistent in outputting and being creative?
Journaling. Journaling, trying to plan as best as possible. You don't have to plan everything every single day because there's no fun in that. I'm going to plan to walk here. I'm going to plan, but like holding yourself accountable, you know? Like I was in a really hard spot like in 2020, and I bet on myself. I said I'm going to double down on this art and poetry and just like crafts and everything. And I planned it out to 2030 at that time. And from that time till now, I try to journal every couple of days about like, what do I want to accomplish? What bills do I owe? Which people do I want to see and everything? And that discipline of like, you might not always get it easy. You might not always get it easy. You gotta put in the work outside of work, and like, you know, it might not be your mainline thing that you're doing. That's like bringing food on the counter and all, but like, it holds a capacity too. Yeah. And I keep on saying this, but life is hard, so you gotta work harder. You really do, as best as possible. And the world needs and deserves to see your body of work. I'm thankful for both of you today. This is some good stuff.
Man.
Some good stuff.
Do you believe in manifestation? Do you think maybe you're journaling and you're looking ahead, like you mentioned earlier, having books planned till 2035? Do you think that planning ahead is a form of manifestation that has brought you to 13 books, an art installation? You said learning guitar brought you to public speaking events with the Fairmont. So indulging yourself in a new craft and something, a new art form, brought you something totally unexpected in a totally different avenue.
I think you can categorize it as manifestation. However, when you get into that regard of like, I'm going to solely listen to other people about my benefit and about my well-being and everything, then you're leaving your journey into another person's hands that might not have the best implications for you. Mm-hmm. You know, like, I don't think that many of these things can come without putting in your own sense of work and your own sense of attitude and emotions, and just holding yourself up to a level of balance as well. There's a spiritual side to it. I think that self-belief entangles with the manifestation, but
for sure.
I really hope this generation doesn't fall into like, you can change your mind at any time.
Yeah, yo.
That's the most realist thing I'm gonna say to you.
100%.
You can change your mind at any time.
Yes.
You don't gotta do what other people are telling you and stuff, and you deserve to win. That win will come eventually, but like, you deserve to win. I won't sugarcoat it. looking back at this probably in the future, let's say like April 7th, 2028 or something, like I didn't even know what I was gonna do 3 years ago, but like
Yeah, fair enough.
when I make it there, when you make it there, when everyone makes it there and stuff, we're still gonna be stressed and everything, or like have better peace of mind, but don't wait to be great. Don't wait to be great.
Fair
Just
enough.
like
Well
give it
put.
a time, give it an attempt, give it a try. I'm very proud of these books and everything, but don't just lean on that you don't deserve to win.
Oh,
You're working so hard. You're waking up every day. You're giving it a try and stuff. Just take a moment, step back. I'm gonna soak in this. I'm gonna appreciate this and stuff. If that makes any sense, I don't know.
dude, it makes perfect sense. I love that you said you can change your mind at any time. And like, I would love to share an example from my own life where I used to be an alcoholic and a drug addict. And one day I decided that that's not what I wanted to be anymore. So I changed my perception of myself. I realized that I was worth saving and worth living my life. And it's crazy because when my perception changed of myself, slowly everyone's perception around me changed of me. So when I first quit, people go, "You quit drinking?" And I was like, that's crazy to first think about. Like, what did these people think about me in the first place? But yeah, man, like I just one day decided that I did not want to be an alcoholic anymore, and I changed my mind about it. And that was years ago now. So you can change your mind whenever you want. You can't choose to be an artist as soon as you put the paintbrush to the canvas or write a song or pick up the guitar or, it's the act that makes you the thing. So just do the act, That's kind of my takeaway.
My takeaway from that, first of all, you're seen and you're heard.
Oh, thanks, man.
I remember a few years ago, like I didn't step outside in 2 weeks because I was really unwell, and I remember that first moment of like stepping outside and be like, oh my gosh, I feel health, I feel rejuvenated, I feel everything, and I said I never want to feel like in that hermit mode again.
For sure.
And that was out of my control, but I think that it's possible for folks to fall into that, especially in the winter times, in the winter and the holiday season and everything. And I knew that I deserve to bring about these dreams and possibilities. Just to say I was here. Mm-hmm. That's it. That's it. I was here. I was in this moment. I gave it a try. And I don't know what's gonna come next. I don't know how big this is gonna get, but I'm going to give you guys a journey in a subject matter and just a story that you won't forget. And I'm happy that both of you are here along this journey, and I'm here along this journey. And but you got to give them a story and a show that they won't forget.
I would agree.
Well put.
That's definitely something to live by. One last one that I wanted to ask you. What's something that you think you're proud of that maybe doesn't show up on your resume or something that we didn't talk about today?
I'm proud of the person I can be. I'm proud that I can be an extension of love for my partner, an extension of dreams for my family, an extension of community for my counterparts in Banff, the person I can be. That's also coming to terms with myself that I can see sadness, I can feel pain, I can be mad, I can understand that I'm just merely Shawayne, but it is all an extension of myself. And that's the things I can be. And there's parts of me that can scare me as well. and parts of me that can make me cry, and parts of me that can make me optimistic and look at the world and be like, wow, I do want to create, and parts that I just want to hide away. And there's so much stories in these books and in this life. And when you're walking down the street, and when you're just going for a stroll, or even seeing folks as you're in the grocery store or anything, we all have a story. And I hope one day you have the confidence to tell your story. Because it seems like it's not a big deal, but it's real.
Yeah.
You know?
How do you find the confidence?
Because it would be a displeasure not to enlighten and hold my inner child.
Well
So it'd
said.
be a displeasure. For the times that my inner child and like guidance in the universe and just my family and friends have protected me and made sure I'm okay, and like checking in, saying hi. It barely costs us anything, but it goes a long distance. Your four walls can lie to you. You know, these bodies of work and stuff, they're coming from a real person. That's why I started off the conversation with like my fear of AI and my fear of like things that can take us over. But this, you got to hold on to. This, you got to protect. And what you're looking around at, it deserves you too.
Very well said.
No doubt.
Man. Yeah, I think what I take away from what you said there, Shawayne, is like you owe it to yourself to let your light shine bright. You know what I mean? Like the world deserves to see the best version of you.
Yeah.
You know? And whatever it takes you to get there, I think should explore that, you know? All right, moving on. New segment, guys. Brand new segment.
We're doing it.
All right. It's time for a new segment we call You Didn't Hear It From Us. It's not news specifically. It's not facts. It's definitely not official. We will talk about one official story today, but, you know, it's just kind of stuff that we've heard around town, stuff that people are talking about that just isn't going away. It might actually matter to the people that live here. A lot of stuff kind of gets brushed under, especially when it comes to certain stories around town that don't get told due to, you know, hiding certain perspectives or certain interests as far as tourism that maybe we think people should talk about. Because I've heard of a few stories lately that I'm like, why aren't more people aware of this? First one, this one was kind of talked about, and there was an official article written about it. It happened before Christmas, kind of more in the early parts of December. It was about the bear being moved from Sunshine Village. Now, a little bit of backstory on this. A bear was found to be denning somewhere near the Goat's Eye station. Now, they didn't give the exact location, but Parks Canada's recommendation to a denning bear would be to allow a 200-meter radius of exemption. So basically, no one would be able to come within 200 meters of the denning bear because bears do get out of their den to, you know, poop and, like, you know, they kind of stretch their legs and stuff over the winter. They're not just asleep the whole time. So this closure would have closed the ski out. Potentially until early spring, until the bear would eventually moved on. So what happened was, obviously, Sunshine wants this bear moved. Parks Canada is involved in the conversation. Now, it was deemed by Parks Canada experts to not move the bear since it was so late in the season, being so close to denning, that they found that moving it would be a risk to the animal.
Well, isn't the ski out, like, that's like the emergency exit? Like,
it is. So there's kind of two sides of this story, right? There's the public safety side of, you know, the holidays were rapidly approaching, and having 8,000, 9,000 people up at the ski hill, which they do on events like Slush Cup,
right,
where the ski out's not open, and there's a gondola lineup of an hour or two to get down.
Yeah.
So having the ski out permanently closed for the year, I don't think is a good idea neither. Experts are arguing that moving the bear that late was potentially harmful to the bear. Now, they did end up moving it in a move that was said to be controversial because it goes against Parks Canada acting on behalf of the animals and acting on behalf of visitors and on behalf of business. Now, arguably, I think the focus is more on visitor safety.
Well, fair enough.
Because if people then know that a denning bear is there, we know how much people love wildlife and how much people come here to see wildlife.
Yeah, go try to get a selfie if you know where it is. Not a good idea.
Not a good idea. Anyways, the article continues to read that the bear was relocated successfully. So
Okay,
they
sweet.
caught it, collared it, relocated it, and it did find a new denning site. So all is well that ends well. But why I wanted to include it in part of this new segment is how come we didn't hear about it until way, way after? Right? So
Yeah, fair enough.
these conversations are being had and decisions are being made, and then people are kind of reacting to it afterwards in uproar, being that, they acted on behalf of this or on behalf of that.
Everybody's got an opinion.
Yeah, the internet was pretty up in arms, honestly. The article that I read was pretty scathing to Parks Canada and their decision making.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if I see it in that same light.
I'm just happy that the wildlife and the bears is okay.
For sure.
Well, yeah.
I know these situations can really get out of hand, and especially with tourists wanting to explore and see, or anybody else wanting to see the bear. But the bear is okay.
For sure.
The bear is okay.
So that's the silver lining. I think people are definitely up in arms no matter what happens in the park. But I think at the end of the day, the bear was moved okay. But the point of this segment is, we're going to be bringing you these as we hear them. This one's a little bit late, but it will be much quicker
We
in the
were off
future.
for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, but I feel like
give
we
us some
just had
leeway
to
on
talk
that
about
one.
it because we hadn't talked about this topic, and it was, I feel like it was pretty brushed. Like, there was one article about it. There was no mention on social media about it.
Oh, shit, really?
Amongst other things that happened at local ski hills that had little to no mention on social media over the holidays.
Fair
Which,
enough.
again, we're not really in the business of discussing the negative aspects of Banff.
No.
But they do need to be addressed.
People are talking about it anyways.
For sure. And that's what this whole segment is about, is dissecting what people are talking about. Moving on to the next order of business, the weirdest one.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything about this. I don't know how you heard about this, but
I heard about this through social media and a news article that I read. So allegedly, during the Christmas market, a 44-year-old man there was an attempted kidnap of a 44-year-old man.
like why?
At the Christmas market or around the parking lot of the Christmas market. Allegedly, what I
Like down at
read.
the train station?
Yes. So allegedly, what I read was in the parking lot, masked men emerged from a sedan, tried to kidnap a 44-year-old man, multiple men, multiple assailants, unsuccessfully. The victim of this said kidnapping gets into their vehicle, drives back to Calgary
It's fucking wild.
without reporting it to authorities until I think the next day, or that evening, or the next day. Again, these aren't facts; these are just kind of what I remember from reading this article. So the police are asking people for information about it. I thought it's the strangest thing.
Like, you'd think if, there's so many people down there. You'd think if, a bunch of masked men ran out of a car, people would be, losing it.
It would
be,
cause
it'd be
hysteria.
like pandemonium, dude. It'd be insane.
I just hope the person's okay, because they might have been in shock.
For sure.
Yeah,
they're in shock.
oh yeah, that was really messed up. And then your mind catches up. Oh man, yeah. This the fact that they drove back, and I don't know if they were with their family or all, but
It said that, I think the article said that they were with their family.
That's why.
So maybe if they have kids, they're trying to downplay it, or who knows? Honestly, if you're not there, you don't really know the victim's mentality. There's going to be a level of shock if you're approached by multiple masked assailants to try to put you into a vehicle.
Yeah, that's a wild situation to land yourself in.
But I have a hard time in that would have caused a crazy commotion. These things don't go unnoticed.
Yeah, you would think that multiple people would have seen that.
And I'm pretty sure there would be cameras in that parking lot. Would there not be?
Oh yeah, fair enough. I would assume. I don't know. I mean, everywhere's got cameras. There's got
That's
to
what
be
I'm
cameras
saying.
somewhere.
Especially somewhere where people are storing their vehicles, which are presumably expensive, which presumably have you know, if they're here on holidays, you know, maybe their luggage in it, maybe their laptops in it. Like, you'd think there's cameras all over the train station in the parking lot.
Yeah, I don't know.
Seems crazy. I thought it was nuts. It's like
It's insane.
the craziest thing I've heard in a while.
Last one for the day. So apparently Dancing Sasquatch, which we all know is no more, is getting rebranded into a country bar called the Dusty Boot.
Few things to unpack here.
Yeah.
First of all, the name. What do you think of the Dusty Boot as a country bar name?
I think of Das Boot.
Do you think of chugging?
I saw
Das
him
Boots?
one day with a boot walking around. I was like, where did you get that?
I think I know where you got it.
There were a few left.
So, yeah, I don't know. I think the Dusty Boot is like the most obvious choice ever for a country bar. I think there's probably, I could probably think of a few more.
So what is it
right
going to be
now.
like? Someone said it was going to be like a line dancing, like kind of vibe. Which that's what I heard. It was they're going to have like
A
line dancing
dancing vibe.
and stuff like that going on. But I don't know, man. We have officially now no nightclubs in Banff. There's just no nightclubs.
Well, I think there's a couple of bars that kind of do the nightclub thing.
But there's no like dedicated like nightclub. You know what I mean? Like it's everybody else has just picked up the slack. Like on New Year's, like every venue in town had a DJ.
Yeah, every restaurant was a nightclub basically on New Year's.
So it's like it's weird. It's a weird vibe. It's like I don't know. It's just a weird vibe right now. Like everywhere is just they're doing like club events, I guess, just at not club locations.
Interesting.
Which is,
Do you think there's any value to that, or you think like?
well, I mean, people still want to go and party, and they still
Yeah.
want to see a DJ. It's like it is what it is. Like if you're going out for the night and they got a live DJ, like
It's a great time for exposure for up and coming DJs because like maybe there's a lot of opportunities or a chance to network, you know.
Well, yeah,
Right,
we
yeah.
talked about that with the Alberta Coast Guard. They're like local bands are having a hard time getting booked just due to the demand of DJs and dance music, right?
Well, man, like
Versus-
I know I had several people ask me to DJ on New Year's. I'm
Yeah.
like, man, I'm booked. Like, do you know anybody that could play? I'm like, everybody that I'm friends with that's a DJ is already booked. Like, it's wild. Like there's a massive demand for it. And there's multiple events. Like you could go pretty much most nights of the week and find a DJ somewhere. Either
I mean, country is having a weird kind of revival in the hip hop scene. Like I saw Big X the Plug, and I didn't even know, but he had a whole country album. And like
Really?
the younger generation at that show, like I felt old at that show.
do you think
A lot of the younger
Dusty
kids-
Boots? Do you think it's gonna pop off in there?
Maybe Big X the Plug will come to
No.
play Dusty Boot, man.
Oh,
Like
man.
that could be cool, but I don't know. I just don't see it being like. I was talking to some people from Calgary, and they had heard about the rebrand too, and they're like, I don't think people from like Calgary, Red Deer, or Edmonton want to go to a country bar. Like,
because
there's-
they already have enough.
that's
of
what I mean.
those.
There's a million country bars everywhere. Like,
Well, I mean, that might draw people in though. It's like if you're in town, it's like, well, we can still go to a country bar.
I feel like an international person would be like, yeah, sick, a country bar, because it's something so not maybe from where they're from.
Yeah.
It's
But,
like typical Albertan, I guess.
That's what I mean. You need like a Banff nightclub, maybe like a winter, like an igloo, like that's where I would go with it instead of country. Like country just is like, I feel like it's already kind of culturally,
like limiting.
yeah.
Yeah, like if you're not into like, I probably won't go because I absolutely hate country music. I'm
That's what I
sorry,
mean.
I just like
Like,
I like
fuck
a
that.
lot of music. I like a lot of different music.
Yeah.
But there's something about country. It's like I had an epiphany the other day. Country music is just emo for farm
for
boys,
sure.
like straight up.
Yeah.
it's like if you listen to the lyrics, you're like, this is just an emo song with like lap steel guitar. And like violin and like fiddle and like it's just
Have you
like,
heard the AI country music?
Oh, God,
Like,
it's
I think
insane.
Theo Vaughn and a couple of
Oh, it's
podcasters
absolutely
played
wild.
some, and it is so funnily bad. Like,
oh yeah, it's like
that's what I mean. I don't think AI will ever come close to what we do. But to close that topic, Dusty Boot, corny as hell. Country bar, who knows? Maybe it'll fly. Maybe
we
it
gotta
won't.
go some night. We'll go
Maybe
see
it
what's
won't.
up.
Yeah, we'll see.
Opening night.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Is there anything else you wanted to give us, Shawayne? Did you want to maybe read us an excerpt from your book, or
Yeah. If you want to flip to a random page, I'll read that.
flip
poem.
to a random page?
It's like a magic trick.
Here, I like this one because it had one of the pictures that we used. This one.
Awesome, possum. So this is called Eons of Hope. That's me right there in Mountain Folk.
Yeah.
Jeez. Eons of Hope. Never relax in my premonitions. Not me this time, but something is missing. Intuition vibrant as your eyes, settle with me nice in this beautiful life. Woe to see atrocities in this world. I'm only human when the problems unfurl. Spoken compassion provokes finger curls potent. The name Shawayne and an absence invokes emotions. The man, the myth, blessed with words that tend to lift. From dire circumstances and detrimental advances, my message and answer is to try your best to live. The moon is stunning. You're destined to be something, especially under the hue of a new day. Thank you for staying hopeful, is what I'm trying to say. Thank you.
Well, I
Rick?
think we just found the title for this episode. I think it's The Man, the Myth, with the words that tend to lift.
Oh, geez.
There you
I
go.
like
Yes,
that.
indeed.
I like that. I
Let's
think
go.
that's a good, because Shawayne, I think for our last one too, we did the same thing. We ran the episode back and then we're like, what should we call this? But I think that verse specifically is a pretty dope title.
Thank you.
What do you think?
Nah,
You're
that's
cool with
groovy.
it?
Yeah, that's groovy. That's groovy.
Sweet.
Oh,
Well, thank you so much, Shawayne, for sharing your outlook, your art, your perspective, your encouragement. It's been a great chat, man.
it's been groovy.
Great to catch
Yeah,
up.
round 2 was a success.
Yeah, let's not make it so long before our next one, man. If you haven't already, like and subscribe, you dummy. We've been doing this for a long time. We're going to keep doing this for a long time. Plenty coming in the new year. Sorry for calling you a dummy. That was a little bit rude. Yeah, like and subscribe. We love you all for listening and for coming along this journey with us. We love Banff. We love the Bow Valley. We're going to keep bringing you artists, politicians, news segments. You didn't hear it from us. All the rumors that are floating around town. We're not news, but we're something kind of close to it, you know? Something, just a couple dudes in the town of Banff trying to have a good time.
It's coffee shop talk.
Coffee shop talk, you know? Big thanks to Drink Shaft. We have to thank the Brew Pub, of course, for having
big
us in
time.
the tap room. They're about to open up soon. I'm sure the bartender will arrive shortly, so we better gather our things
Gather
boogie.
things, yeah.
and skedaddle until next week. Next week, we're having our first collab with another pod.
Nice one.
Yes, we will announce later this week, so please stay tuned. I'm very excited about it. Been chatting with this guy for a while, setting this up. One of our local guys. You'll recognize him from around town.
Nice.
You might be surprised to hear that he has a pod. I listen to it. I think it's great.
Sick. Let's
So,
do it.
Tune in next week. Like every week.
See you next Tuesday.